watching News 4 at 4.
A Maryland man goes missing, vanishing for months. His family and friends left desperate for answers.
And even though he was eventually found, they're now left to wonder, could more have been done to ease the pain they suffered?
Today, Prince George's County Bureau Chief Tracy Wilkins and the News 4 I-Team investigate what happened to Uncle Morris.
Prince George's County 911 Center.
The day before Morris Vereen disappeared, he wasn't feeling quite right.
We need an ambulance.
The Laurel resident called 911 from his home. It was 8 days before Christmas.
I don't know if it's COVID or whatever, man. I just feel like I got these chills, man, and I can't shake them, man.
He was checked out but not transported, according to police records. The next morning, the last images anyone would see of the 58-year-old alive, caught on this surveillance camera leaving his home.
I came to visit him, and he wasn't there. And I waited around for him. When he didn't return, it seemed kind of unusual.
Berdino Joyner called him Uncle Morris. They were so close. He says the two were like family.
We're tight. We're very tight.
And when the holidays came and went, he knew something was wrong.
No one heard from him. Everyone was calling everyone looking for Uncle. Uncle, where's Uncle? Where's Uncle?
After returning to Maryland to check on Vereen from South Carolina, he called the police to file a missing persons report on December 27th. Uncle Morris became one of the almost 500 people reported missing last year in Prince George's County.
Very devastated, very distraught, very confused. So I'm calling the Prince George Police Department trying to see what's going on. Have they heard anything? Have they located the car? But I'm getting no answers.
The News 4 I-Team obtained the case file in Morris Vereen's disappearance. It shows a BOLO was issued and police logs show calls were made to both hospitals and jails in Maryland and D.C. But by January, with no news, Joyner called the police upset he had not been updated, documented in this email from a detective.
The detective did call me back in February and said that they're still looking. They have the tag readers out, so if his car is anywhere, they would, it would pop up. They would see it.
But that never happened. Police logs show that calls were made in January and February to the medical examiner's office in Maryland and New Jersey, where he had recently purchased a vehicle. But calls were never made here at the time to the D.C. medical examiner's office, even though calls were made to other D.C. agencies. In March, Joyner said it was a shocking call from a neighbor of Vereen that eventually solved the case.
She was like, I need you to check this website because I think that your uncle may be on here.
There on a website for unclaimed remains was his name. Joyner called the D.C. medical examiner, who confirmed Morris had died.
It took me by surprise, and, my heart just sank.
The man he called Uncle died in a Northeast D.C. parking lot, 15 miles from his home.
He is unconscious, not breathing.
After suffering a heart attack on the very day he went missing, December 18th. He also had COVID, according to the medical examiner. Police body-worn camera video shows D.C. officers pulled him from his vehicle and tried multiple times to revive him.
I'm gonna run the tag, see if I can find his name.
D.C. police confirmed to the I-Team they did identify Vereen that day with his ID card and registration, but said only a D.C. address came up, not his Laurel one.
I was kind of outraged because he has been there all that time and deceased all that time.
When you hear the details, do you feel like there was a breakdown in communication?
Absolutely. It was definitely a breakdown in communication, all the way around.
Former City of Falls Church police officer Derica Wilson is founder of the Black and Missing Foundation, which provides resources for families and police who are searching for Black people whose cases, she says, don't always get the attention they deserve.
As a police officer, I'm going to go above and beyond to reach out to those hospitals. I'm going to go above and beyond, and as insensitive as it may sound, reach out to those morgues.
The Prince George's County Police Department declined an on-camera interview for this story, but said our detectives investigated his disappearance based on the information known at the time, and that we were saddened to learn he had passed away 9 days prior to being reported missing. D.C. police also declined an on-camera interview, but a spokesperson told the I-Team that after Vereen was found, we were unable to immediately locate his next of kin due to limited family connections and our available database. One of Vereen's sons, who lives in Virginia, said he never heard from either police department.
This is a nightmare, just not knowing, not knowing where your loved one is.
This all could have been avoided.
4 days after Joyner found out where Vereen was, logs show he got a call from Prince George's County Police.
The people that I called me to ask me where did I find him and what happened.
That night, the Maryland detective left a message for the D.C. medical examiners and called D.C. police, who confirmed Vereen had died, closing the case, according to police records. Since Vereen had been unclaimed for months, his remains were already cremated by the time Joyner got to him.
This is a tragedy all around, for my uncle and what he had to go through and what the family had to go through.
Leaving him wondering, had it not been for that neighbor, would Uncle Morris ever have been found? Tracy Wilkins, News 4.
We have more on this story in our NBC Washington app, including advice from experts on what to do if your loved one should go missing. Just click on Investigations.